As we reach this point in the presentation, it becomes clear that agritourism represents much more than a niche attraction or an optional add-on to rural economies. What we see here is a sustainable pathway for strengthening rural vitality, one that connects agriculture, culture, the environment, and tourism into a single integrated framework. Agritourism acts as a dynamic interface where these different dimensions come together, supporting not only economic diversification, but also social cohesion and environmental stewardship. Throughout the discussion, we've seen how agritourism has evolved over time. It began with very traditional, observation-based visits, where tourists simply walked through farms and watched agricultural routines from a distance. But visitor expectations have changed, and rural communities have adapted accordingly. What has emerged is a shift toward immersive, participatory experiences, activities that allow people to work alongside farmers, learn traditional techniques, engage with local culture, and experience rural life in a more meaningful, hands-on way. This evolution reflects a much broader trend in tourism, where authenticity and active engagement are becoming key drivers of visitor interest. What makes agritourism so powerful is its ability to generate positive outcomes across multiple areas at once. It provides economic opportunities that help stabilize rural households, especially in regions facing volatile markets or seasonal income constraints. It helps preserve traditional knowledge, cultural heritage, and agricultural practices that might otherwise be lost. And it encourages environmentally responsible land use by promoting sustainable farming methods and increasing awareness among visitors. At the same time, agritourism strengthens the connection between rural communities and the wider public. It creates opportunities for cultural exchange, education, and mutual understanding. Visitors gain a deeper appreciation for the work that sustains food systems, while rural residents gain new avenues for economic growth and community development. Agritourism stands out as a multifaceted model that supports the long-term vitality of rural areas. It demonstrates how rural communities can adapt to changing conditions while preserving the core elements that define their identity. And by fostering meaningful participation and authentic engagement, it offers a sustainable way forward for regions seeking both economic resilience and cultural preservation. Agritourism brings together multiple dimensions that reinforce one another, beginning with its economic contributions. By diversifying income streams, rural households gain access to new sources of revenue, whether through direct farm sales, hands-on activities, guided tours, or value-added products. These opportunities often extend beyond traditional farming roles and create employment in hospitality, educational storytelling, artisanal food production, and event hosting. What's especially significant is that these activities frequently benefit groups that have historically had fewer economic opportunities in rural settings, such as women and young people. Economic growth is further strengthened by cooperative networks and partnerships with tour operators, local associations, and regional marketing initiatives. When farmers collaborate rather than work in isolation, they gain access to larger markets and more visibility. Policy support also plays a key role here, especially when it comes to infrastructure development and training programs that help rural entrepreneurs build the skills they need to thrive in the tourism sector. But the foundations of agritourism are not only economic, they are deeply social as well. Cultural preservation and community empowerment are essential to the long-term sustainability of rural destinations. Agritourism encourages intergenerational knowledge transfer, allowing younger generations to learn from elders and maintain authentic agricultural practices, local crafts, and traditions. These elements are often what make rural destinations distinctive and appealing to visitors seeking meaningful, culturally grounded experiences. At the same time, it's important to acknowledge the challenges that communities continue to face. Limited access to capital, gaps in infrastructure, shortages in specialized skills, and seasonal fluctuations in visitor numbers all place pressure on rural tourism initiatives. Overcoming these challenges requires coordinated involvement from governments, community organizations, and educational institutions. Strengthening these collaborations can help rural destinations manage risk, improve quality, and continue building resilient agritourism systems. Ultimately, the economic and social foundations of agritourism reveal why it has become such a valuable pathway for rural development. It supports livelihoods, strengthens community identity, and builds connections between generations, all while creating sustainable opportunities for rural vitality. At this point, we turn our attention to two essential pillars that support the long-term success of agritourism: environmental stewardship and strategic marketing. These areas may seem unrelated at first, but in reality, they work hand in hand to strengthen both the sustainability and visibility of rural destinations. The first pillar focuses on environmental integration. Agritourism depends on healthy landscapes, thriving ecosystems, and well-managed natural resources. Because of this, many agritourism initiatives incorporate practices such as biodiversity conservation, responsible water use, soil protection, and the adoption of eco-friendly infrastructure. These actions not only help protect the environment, but also contribute to broader climate adaptation goals. When visitors see solar panels, organic farming techniques, wildlife protection zones, or regenerative agriculture in action, they associate the destination with responsible environmental values. This connection reinforces the idea that sustainable practices are not just optional, they are essential for the long-term viability of agritourism sites. The second pillar is digital engagement, which has become increasingly important as visitor behavior shifts toward online research and storytelling. Based decision-making, digital platforms allow rural destinations to reach a wide range of audiences, from wellness travelers and environmentally conscious tourists to families seeking hands-on learning experiences. Social media, interactive websites, and immersive digital storytelling help convey the authenticity of the experience, highlight local narratives, and build emotional connections before visitors even arrive. Strong digital engagement has the power to position agritourism destinations as unique, trustworthy, and aligned with the values of today's travelers. The final element here involves collaborative networks. Agritourism thrives when it is supported by connections across different sectors: artisans, educational institutions, local governments, international certification bodies, and even cross-border partnerships. These collaborations raise quality standards, expand market reach, and enrich the visitor experience. For example, partnerships with schools can support educational tourism programs, while certification schemes can help destinations meet internationally recognized sustainability criteria. When communities work together, They create integrated programming that is much stronger than what individual operators could achieve alone. Together, environmental stewardship, digital engagement, and collaborative networks form a strategic foundation for agritourism's future. They ensure that rural destinations remain competitive, sustainable, and resilient, while offering visitors meaningful, high-quality experiences that reflect the values of responsible tourism. As we look toward the future of agritourism, it becomes clear that this model holds tremendous potential for strengthening rural resilience. Agritourism has already proven itself adaptable in the face of global challenges, from climate change and market volatility to shifting visitor expectations. But realizing its full potential requires long-term commitment and coordinated action across several key dimensions. The first of these is inclusive governance. Effective agritourism development depends on policy frameworks that bring together governments, communities, and local businesses. When decision-making is inclusive, the benefits of agritourism can be distributed more equitably across households and community groups. This not only strengthens trust but also supports social stability and long-term sustainability. The second dimension is capacity enhancement. Rural communities thrive when people have access to training, skill development, and knowledge transfer programs. Whether it's hospitality skills, digital literacy, environmental management, or entrepreneurship, ongoing capacity building ensures that communities can adapt to new opportunities and maintain high-quality visitor experiences. It also empowers younger generations to participate actively in rural development. The next dimension emphasizes ecological balance. Agritourism relies on healthy ecosystems, clean water, fertile soil, biodiversity, and beautiful landscapes. For this reason, environmental protection must be fully integrated with economic objectives. Practices such as regenerative agriculture, organic farming, and conservation partnerships help ensure that tourism growth doesn't compromise the natural resources that make these destinations attractive in the first place. Protecting the environment is not an added benefit. It is a core requirement for long-term viability. Finally, there is cultural authenticity. Rural identity, heritage, and traditional practices are central to what makes agritourism meaningful. Safeguarding cultural authenticity means allowing communities to shape how their traditions are presented, ensuring that cultural expressions remain genuine rather than commercialized. When visitors experience authentic storytelling, rituals, crafts, and agricultural heritage, the result is a deeper connection that honors both the community and the landscape.